So he's a Japanese broker in Torrance, Los Angeles.
Oh, no, I don't believe so, but nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you.
How long you been a realtor in Torrance?
35 years.
Oh, wow. So you're an expert. You're definitely an expert.
He's actually my teacher for the real estate license.
Oh, cool.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah, I'm
nice.
teaching 22 years for a real estate license class.
Hmm. Well, we're going to be hosting a international festival at TIGAR, September 30th. Maybe I'll send you an invite. Maybe you can come and check it out.
Yeah,
Thank you very much. Good
Is
to
that
see you.
in-person meeting? In
It's
person?
going to be in person. We're going to have different culture foods and then, dances and so forth.
Oh, that would be fun. So yeah, send me invitation, please.
I definitely will.
Oh, that would be so nice if you will be able to attend. Wow.
I can wear kimono to some.
Yes.
That'd be great.
Yes.
That'd be really great. Yeah. We're going to be wearing our traditional, outfit too. So yeah.
Oh, that would be so awesome.
I can do it.
Awesome. All right. 401. We can wait a couple more minutes when people sign up. And Tracy, you want to share a little bit about yourself?
Hi.
Hi, Tracy.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm fine. I am Tracy Shepard. I live in Los Angeles. I've been a realtor for a few years. I'm with Keller Williams Santa Monica.
Nice.
Yeah.
And you have an interest in Japan?
I have my CIPS designation and I'm a FIAPSI member. So yes,
Excellent.
I have an interest in Japan.
Awesome. FIAPSI. So you're part of Spencer's team? I believe
Yes.
this is the first year.
Yeah.
That's a great organization.
Thank you. I've been a FIAPSI member for a little over a year.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's me.
So while we wait, you all want to put your contact information on chat so then we have a way for us to reach back to you. You can just leave your name, phone number, or email if you like. It's one way for us to keep track of everybody who's has interest in global. And Angela, you want to share a little bit about yourself, where you're from?
I'm sorry, I'm in a public area, so I have my volume
No
down.
worries.
So I'm not trying to be rude. I will have my camera on off in a minute. I'm Angela Nugent. I'm with Keller Williams Commercial and Residential out of Orange County office, and I live in San Diego. And so I do some international transactions, and I was just wanting to listen in today to find out a little bit more in our area. We do have a lot of clientele that look to San Diego as well as out of the country, and I just wanted to familiarize myself more.
Awesome. Well, welcome.
Thank you. Forgive my rudeness for turning this off.
No, absolutely. It's very understandable. Well, it is 4:04. What I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Sarah Oswald. I am the TIGAR Global Committee Chair. We started our committee about 3 years ago. And since we started, we just got hooked. We want to learn more about all this different culture, how real estate transaction takes place, and so forth. So when I met Hiroko through Women's Council of Realtors, and I knew she was ambassador for Japan and Mongolia through NAR, I felt like, no, we need to get her to share her knowledge and expertise about Japan. And that is how we started planning for this event. So start off, I just want to say a little bit about TIGAR's mission statement as the global committee. So our mission statement is basically that the Global Culture Committee of the Inland Gateway Association of Realtors' purpose is to provide members with global market updates on inbound and outbound transactions through education and networking, as well as building partnership with global-minded real estate agents in the local market. And to start off, I know you all are waiting and anxiously waiting to learn and be educating about Japan. So with that said, I want to share a little bit about Hiroko's bio. So she is a real estate professional with extensive experience in business and the real estate field in both US and Japan. During her 17 years of career in Japan, she occupied positions of leadership in one of the largest real estate market publication companies in that country. She networked and collaborated with leaders in the field of real estate in Japan, developing a multitude of business contacts through a wide variety of fields and maintaining them to this day. Hiroko's main area of expertise is in the residential property sale. She specializes in buying and selling houses, arranging for relocation services, and undertaking and successfully completing international transactions. By collaborating with specialists of different fields such as finance, taxes, and the elderly nursing system in both the US and Japan, she's able to provide timely and specialized information to her clients by holding seminars and private consultations. Hiroko is a very own National Association of Realtor Global Ambassador to Japan and Mongolia. And she's also Women's Council of Realtors LA and Beverly Hills President. She's also the Global Committee Chair of Greater Los Angeles Realtor and a former Board of Directors for ARIA LA Coastal Chapter. And she also has her CIPS and SRES designation. With that, I'm going to turn the event over to Hiroko.
Thank you so much, Sarah, for warm introduction, great introduction. Okay, so thank you so much for inviting me and the two Japanese professional people. So this is a great opportunity to share Japan. That's my home country. So my name is Hiroko Nishikawa Naumann. So as Sarah introduced, I'm a CIPS holder. That is maybe the beginning of my global journey. And I took a class at the GLA, my local board, CIPS, and I realized, wow, the local association doing many different things. And then I started to join the global committee, and I met many great people through ARIA and NNL. And then I started to take my ladder to the like a global division or global ambassador. So today I will introduce the general information about Japan, real estate in the market. And I will introduce my two great people from Japan, Mr. Minoru Okubo. He is joining from Hokkaido, Japan. That's a northeast area. And Aki Shimizu from Tokyo. So both are, right now it's 8 a.m. They woke up a little early. And then I'm going to introduce them later, and they will both give us a presentation. Okay, so I will provide my presentation, and then I'm going to share my screen. Do you see my screen? Okay.
Yes.
All right, great. So slideshow. So I just want to ask who went to Japan? Who had experience to spend time in Japan? Okay, I think some of them and not many people. And so, as you know, Japan is a very small country, and it's 1/21. So the United States is 21 times larger than Japan. And Japan has many different islands, but the main island is major island 1, and then 3 more islands, Hokkaido, Shikoku, and Kyushu. And the main island is almost the same size of California. So, and then, but the population is, the main island population is almost the same. The Tokyo's population is 3 times than the California's population. So you can imagine how condensed in the small country. And then as you see the map, the Japan is stretched to the north and the south. So northern area is almost the same latitude with Chicago, and then southern area is almost the same as Florida. So we have a different temperature and a little different culture or many different local food or different things. So I think when you visit for business or travel, you enjoy in the city or a rural natural area. So I would like to introduce a little bit of video as per request for Sarah. And just a minute. Can you see this? Okay, so let's keep going. So I just share a little bit the essence of Japan. So as you see, city, rural, and then active and traditional, so many things combined in Japan. Would you like to go sometimes? Okay.
Hiroko,
So,
Hiroko,
yes,
I forgot to mention that my nephew is stationed in Japan.
wonderful. That's great.
Yeah, he goes snowboarding a lot.
Oh,
Yeah.
you need to visit Minoru.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, so I will go back to my presentation. So, just a minute. Just a minute, share the screen. Just a minute. Okay. Do you see this?
Yes.
Oh, stop. Just a minute. So YouTube is a little difficult for me. Okay, sorry about it. What do you see?
The YouTube screen.
Do you see the economy?
Mhm.
Okay, sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I will introduce a little bit the general information for Japan. Japan is the third largest economy in the world, and it's a very small land, so we need to depend on the import most of the materials and then fuels. a little negative thing is population declines right now. So every population is very high number in all over the world countries, but still the economy is concentrated in a large city. So from the point of view to invest the property, maybe I recommend to focus to the large city, not the too much rural area. So that's a less impact from the population decline. And then characteristic of Japan, I think if you take a CIPS class, that is a great class I ever taken. You can learn many different countries' characteristic things. And Japanese people are so diligent for work and for education. So we have been taught from parents or grandparents, work hard, study hard. So every single time you should be punctual. So that's our culture, polite, respectful to, especially for the elder people, and then humble and shy. Because so much condensity, we need to keep better relationship with each other. I think that's a basic information. And business culture, high context culture. So we have a little bit type of hierarchy things existing. So if sometimes the people are a little bit upset if we go to the top people, let's skip to the middle class. So we need to be careful if we deal with a corporation or the large company. And then building in relationship is very important. So although we meet together first time, maybe it will take a while to get to know each other to make a business in the future. Maybe younger people are a little bit different, but traditionally, we need to keep in touch and then make a great relationship and make a business. And also we have to give the business card like a politely, that is a kind of a face for the people. Don't throw like a boomerang for the business card. And also, as I mentioned, high context culture. So we sometimes needed to nemawashi, that is a grand work for pass our presentation or proposal. So that's a business culture. And real estate Japan. So home ownership ratio is over 60%. So that's almost the same percentage of United States, I believe. And 1.5 million transactions per year. And then this is a difference. 80% are the newer construction, but I think that this is a little bit older number. I've heard that number is a little bit lower. Recently, 60 or 70% of the newer construction, and then existing home sale are more than 30% recently. And then the 25-year-old home, nobody I mentioned, but that is point of view of the tax purpose. So that means that depreciation of the house is going down from the first year toward to the 25 years. Then the depreciation value for the tax purpose will be 0. So that's a very different. And average size of the house condo is 700 square feet. That is a medium size, very average size. I think Aki will mention later. And the studio or condo size is 200 square feet or a little bit more. I used to live in Tokyo, 38 square feet of my studio. That is a larger type of studio in Tokyo. So that's a type of the bachelor type size near the school, UCLA, something like that. So this is a little bit the issue in Japan, the high density in big city, but versus vacant houses in rural area. So many young people would like to go to the university or school in the cities, especially for the metropolitan area, Tokyo, Osaka, Nagoya, Sapporo, Fukuoka. But other than that, many young people left, and then elderly parents still there in a small village or small rural area. And if they are passing, nobody would don't want to go back to the area. So maybe sometimes the house are abandoned, and then its vacancy number is increasing. So that's one of the big issue in Japan. And then one of the kind of issue is on a population. So Japan has an highest elderly populations country, I believe, in the world, maybe one of. And aging population is plus 65 plus population is the 35% in the future. And then so that's why the some company invest for the senior housing investment that is increasing. And for this part, the foreign people's ownership. So this is a very good aspect in Japan for the Japanese investment is no restriction and no condition for foreign people to purchase a property. So some Asian countries don't allow the foreign people to own the land. Maybe land are maybe China or other country is on land lease and then don't allow the foreign people to own the land. But the Japan has no restriction, so foreign people can purchase the house and land to get together. That's all fee simple. So also no differences on taxation. So the mortgage is a little bit difficult, the same as here, if they don't have an income in Japan. So I believe if create a corporation or something, then they can get a loan as a corporation in Japan. But for the individual people, if they don't have you don't have an income in Japan, it's a little bit harder to get the mortgage for the international mortgage. But other than that, the Japan is a very safe country and a very stable economy and stable politics. Then no restriction for foreign people. That's a great benefit for the foreign investor to invest in Japan. So a little bit about the rental property. So rental property is so need to pay a little bit extra security deposit. In California, security deposit is usually 1 to 2 months. And apartment building sometimes a campaign to just a $500 security deposit. But in Japan, especially in the western area, they charge a little larger amount of the security deposit, such as 5 to 7 months. And Tokyo area is only maybe 1 month security deposit, and we call reikin arigato like deposit, which is not refundable. So the little bit difference, and the price would be highest rent in Tokyo area, maybe recently a little bit higher, but 250 square feet for 1,200 per month, maybe around. So that is a rental market. And then if you would like to purchase or rent the property in Japan, you need to work with real estate professional. So the little difference is the real estate professional has a license, but not everybody. That is a law allow the licensee can supervise up to 5 employees in one brokerage. So although they don't have a license, but they can work for the client as a real estate professionals. Now, that's a little bit different. Maybe because the real estate license test is only 1 chance per year, and only a 15 to 20% passing ratio. That's very difficult and difficult examination. I failed one time and I got passed real estate license more than 20 couple years ago in Japan. So it's very, very difficult national license in Japan. So, and then also the commission structure is a little bit different from United States. The commission for the existing home, the buyer needed to pay 3% plus $600, and seller needed to pay 3% plus $600. For the seller, less commission like here, and buyer needed to pay the commission for purchasing the existing home. That's a little difference. Just a little the share for the real estate US related company. So ERA Japan, Remax Japan, Century 21, and Sotheby's and Keller Williams recently extend the branch in franchisee in Japan. So today we invited the two professionals from Remax Japan. So they already extended about almost 10 years ago, and they are expanding from northern area, Hokkaido to Kyushu right now. So the current real estate market, maybe after the COVID. So I spoke with my ex-colleague. He is researching a media company, and he explained the price is going up. And then that's a kind of a similar situation like US. So after the COVID happened, lockdown, and we are watching the market and very scary what will happen. The same as Japan, the people think about the real estate market is going down, but opposite way, the people would like to live a larger space, although suburbs is okay, and then one more room they need because everybody stay in home. So suburbs and larger home demand is higher, and then property is a little bit shortage for the inventory. So the price is going up. When I was working in Japan as a media person, that was in 1990, the housing crisis, huge housing crisis happened. And then almost 20 years, no appreciation happened. And then all the property value is going down slowly. So people think about, oh, the existing home price is not going up. But recently for these 10 years, the property's value are going up. So almost 1.8 to double pricing. So that's good for us as an foreign people to invest. We can expect the appreciation, but we have to be careful where is a location, good location to purchase because of the population decline, and we need to pick up the good demand place for renter. So I've heard the good area for the investment is like a metropolitan area, bigger city, and then sometimes tourism. At this point, the COVID restrictions still keep very strict, but if the tourism come back, maybe like a Kyoto somewhere is a good place to have the property because many people are coming to the city. Or like Hokkaido, resort area is a very good opportunity to keep a good ratio of investment. So that is my presentation, and I would like to introduce our panel people. First of all, so I invited two from city and rural area, resort area. So first of all, I want to introduce Aki Shimizu. She's from Tokyo. So Aki's bio, I'm going to read. So she has an experience working as an agent in New York City, joined Remax Amistad in November of 2018 after returning to her hometown, Tokyo. Since then, she has been very proactive in Japan's real estate market. She covers mainly the Tokyo metropolitan area, representing buyer and seller and working with both home buyers and investors. Buying and selling home property in Japan can be challenging for the foreigners, but with proper information and professional assistance, it will be much easier and smoother. I believe that my extensive knowledge and experience will be great help to those who I represent. With further ado, please come to the podium, Aki.
Hi, everyone. So, yeah, thank you, Hiroko-san. So let me share the screen. Do you hear
Can
me?
you
Volume
hear?
up? Yes. What about now? No?
We can hear.
So can you hear me?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, great. Okay,
Thank
let me share my screen first, then I can start. Sure. Do you see the slides? Okay, wait. Hi, everyone. I'm Aki Shimizu. I'm a Remax agent based in Tokyo. As Hiroko-san said, I work with foreign buyers and sellers, both residents and non-residents. So today I'm going to talk about what you should know about the real estate market in Tokyo. Okay, let's get started. So this is how Tokyo looks like. It's long from east to west. And this purple area on the right side is a central Tokyo where most of people live. And as Hiroko-san said, location is very, very important, especially when it comes to buy investment properties. So let me explain to you why. And also the next map shows 23rd Ward, Tokyo, so which is this purple area where most investors buy investment properties. So this is how 23rd Ward, Tokyo looks like. And the population of Tokyo is about, 14 million now. And the size of 23rd Ward Tokyo is only about 29% of the entire Tokyo. But in this 23rd Ward, so 9.7 million are living, which is about 70% population, 70% population of the entire Tokyo. So that means, it tells you how condensed this area is. And when I work with, investor clients, so I will explain to them how each location is different, even in the 23rd Ward Tokyo. So it's divided into 4 sections: north, south, east, west, and this is the central area. And what I usually recommend to my clients are around this area, a little bit on the west side, because this is where rental market is very, very active and also demanding area. And then let me also talk about how price has gone up. Hiroko-san already explained to you. So in general, property value depreciates in Japan, but like past 10 years has been very different. So the price of existing condos has gone up. This is a residential property price index in Tokyo. So just a couple of reasons. The first reason is because new construction condos, the price of new construction condos has gone up a lot because of the material cost increase, and also labor cost increase. Then it created more demand for existing condos. So that means more demand means that the price goes up. And the second reason is because of super low interest rate of a home loan. So buyers now have more purchase power. Now buyers in Japan, residents can get the mortgage with the lowest, like 0.39% adjustable, but it's like nothing, it's almost free money. So so these are the main reasons the price has gone up. And then, so when I talk about 23rd Ward Tokyo, so I told you, so we can divide into 4 sections, and also the each section is different in terms of price and also in terms of demand. And if you look at this the data, so the bottom line is a green line, shows how price has gone up in the outer Tokyo. So even though price has gone up a lot past 10 years, so outer Tokyo, if you look at only outer Tokyo, so it didn't really go up much. But if you look at, so this, the top line, the blue line shows central, like 3 wards. So which is here. So the price has gone up a lot. And then the west section, it's the second line. The orange line has gone up a lot. So what I recommend is usually the orange line, the west section, and also some like area in the south section, this gray line. Because the northern section and also east section, there are many flooding hazard area, which is now a big problems in Japan. So if you focus on the west and also some like south sections, so it will be easier to rent out once the tenant leaves, and it will be easier to resell in the future, and it will be also the value of the property will be more stable in these sections. So many investors, especially overseas investors, look at only gross yields return. But I don't recommend to do so, because if you look at only the numbers, so you will struggle to find new tenants, or you will struggle to resell in the future. So it's very important to work with an agent who has a knowledge about the whole, this market. Then your investment will be successful. So then next one is what I explained to my investor clients. So what to look at when choosing the investment property in Tokyo. So first, location is important, as you all know. So popular area in the 23rd Ward. So this is about existing condos, because buying investment property, buying condos is typical in Tokyo. So investors usually don't buy a house. Sometimes, some people, some investors with a big budget buy a whole building, but usually many investors buy a single unit, a condo. So the location, so you should focus on 23rd Ward, especially the south section, something in the south section, the Minato, Shibuya, Meguro, Shinjuku. So when I go back, if I go back to this map, it will be around here. So this is a prime location. I know the property price will be more expensive compared to other sections, but still, so your investment is more safer. Then also next one to check is if the building is within 10 minutes walking distance from the nearby station. Because when renters look for rental properties, so usually, so we search up to 10 minutes walking distance because it's easier. And the next one is if the building is professionally managed by the licensed building management. This is also important because they usually have a long-term renovation plan and they have a detailed like financial plan. And also if the building has 20 plus more units in the building. So because it will be more financially stable. And the building age is important too. So ideally, if something is around 20 years old, that'd be good. Of course, newer is better, but price is more expensive. It will be more expensive. And also, if it's newer, gross yield return will be lower, but I think it's still good. But at least within like 30 years old, that is a key. And even though many investors buy micro units, which is less than like around 200 square feet. So I don't really recommend to buy a tiny unit because if it's that tiny, so the price won't really go up in the future. So I usually recommend to buy something like over 323 square feet unit with for someone with a lower budget and 1 bedroom plus. And for someone who has bigger budget, so I recommend to buy 646 square feet unit with more than 2 bedrooms. Because if you buy larger units, so it has a potential to rent out, like it'll be easier to rent it out in the future. Also, it has a potential to sell at the higher price. Meaning the next buyer might be another investor or home buyer. And many home buyers in Tokyo look for something over 60 square meter, which is 646 square feet. So if it's like less than that, it'll be a little bit difficult to sell, but it's sellable depending on the price. But it'll be better if it's over 600 square feet. I know it sounds small to California standard, but this is the size of Tokyo. And next one is what you should be aware when buying investment properties in Japan. So no financing is available for non-residents. There are only some exceptions when someone established the company in Japan. It's possible to get financing up to around 50% of the sale price. But the interest rate will be higher, maybe around, depending on the price, it could be between 2.95% to like 3.95%. So most of my investor clients buy investment properties in cash. And the second one, this is a catch. Tenant occupied units are not viewable at all. So it was culture shock to me when I came back to Japan after working in New York City. Oh, you cannot see the property you are going to buy. No, you can't if it's tenant occupied. But sometimes there are some interior pictures the seller has, but in many cases, so we don't know how the inside looks like. So this is a catch. So you should be careful when you buy, especially a condo, like maybe over like 20 years old, or also you should check the rental lease to see how many years the tenant is living there or who is living there. So that kind of information, so agents can get it from the seller's agent. And the third one is exchange rate. So now yen is very weak against dollar. So, but in the future, so it will be changed. But now actually it's a good time for US buyers because of this exchange rate. But if it's opposite, so when the dollar is weaker and then you buy property, and then when you sell the property, if the dollar is stronger, so you will lose your money. Or if the property price doesn't really, property value really doesn't go up. Then once you buy investment property, so that will be not the end, that will be the start of your investment. So you need to hire a professional property management company. And so I work for Remax, but our broker owner also operates property management company. So once my investor clients buy investment per unit, so I pass it to the property management company, and then our bilingual property manager manages the unit. So we are like a one-stop solution for our investors. And then you pay tax in Japan, no matter where you are at. So then you need to appoint a tax agent to pay tax, because Japan's tax office doesn't mail tax bills to overseas. So you need to be aware of this. So when buying investment properties in Japan, so there are like a lot to explain, but these are the kind of basic I explain to my clients. And many clients buy investment properties without coming to Japan. It's possible. So I do that all the time, actually. So what we do is we communicate by emails and WhatsApp, and also like Zoom, and we discuss about options online, and then we can do everything online remotely. And then I visit, even though I don't get into the unit, so I visit the location, so I visit the property to see how the condition of the building is, also how the surrounding is. So that's my job, to like kind of inspect everything I can see. So it's very possible to buy property without coming here remotely. But at the same time, so you need to trust your agent. So so you need to find a good agent to work with. So good agent means someone who has a knowledge about the market, someone who can tell you the downside of the property. So who can tell you all the details and explain to you clearly, so you be confident. Then then I will show you some property for sale. So these are the current listings in Tokyo. So just to give you an idea, so what would be a good investment? So this one is a small 1-bedroom, about 340 square feet. So, it's a side of studio, you might say, but so it can be small 1-bedroom in Tokyo. So 10 minutes walk from Shibuya Station. Shibuya Station is one of the major stations in Japan, in Tokyo. And that's where the New Year's Eve countdown takes place. And the building was built in 1998, and the sale price, it's for 44.8 million yen. It's about 330,000 US dollars now. So I feel like, it feels cheaper in US dollars now. And monthly rental income is 160,000 Japanese, and it's about the $1,200,000 per month. And gross yield 4.28%. It sounds low. If you look for like older properties, like 30 years old or 35 years old, you see this number around 6% plus sometimes. But again, please do not look at only the numbers, gross yield. So you should think about the whole picture, meaning also the exit of your investment. So it's better to at least, it's better to hold the property at least for 5 years, because that's when the tax rate changes if you make money after when selling the property. And the ownership freehold, meaning each owner owns a small portion of the land. And if it's a leasehold, so there is a land lease, so which means unit owner doesn't own the land, so which I don't recommend to my investor clients. And there are some monthly fees, monthly payments the owner needs to make. It's maintenance, monthly maintenance, and also repair funds for the future renovations. For this unit, because it's smaller, so it'd be ideal if it's around $150 in total per month. And number of units, 32 units in the building, so it's good. The building is managed professionally. So this is good unit for like working a professional who wants to live in the center of the city in Tokyo, because it's very convenient to commute. And as even though many families move to like maybe suburbs, or some couples move to suburbs to get more space, but still demand of like smaller units in the convenient location is high for like a single like working person. So this is a good example. And the next one is also in the Shibuya-ku area. So this is a little bit bigger, 543 square feet, like 2-bedroom, small 2-bedroom. And it's on the second floor of 6-story building between 1994. And the sale price, it's similar to the one I just showed you, but it's bigger. So this is a good example too. And gross yield is 4.19%, and freehold ownership and the monthly payment is less than $150 a month. And there are 75 units in the building, and the building is professionally managed. So these are the example of for someone who has like lower like budget, but it's still it has a potential to sell at a higher price point in the future. And some people ask me, what about any vacant units? So can I buy vacant units as investment? Yes, you can. But in general, the vacant units are listed at a higher price than tenant-occupied units. So downside of buying tenant-occupied units is you don't get to see inside. But if there is a same size unit in the same building, so in general, I would say vacant units are listed at the higher price. That means once the current tenant leaves, it's possible to sell it at a higher price. Then if for someone who has bigger budget, so this is bigger unit, also it's more expensive. So this is in Meguro, like a central location. It's located at the central location of 23rd Ward. like 7 minutes walk from Komabato Daimai Station. So it's about like 5 minutes to Shibuya by train. So it's very convenient. The size of the unit, 2-bedroom, 738 square feet, and built in 2004. So it's newer, meaning again, once the tenant leaves, so it's possible to sell to like home buyers, not to investors. The price point is higher, like it's over $600,000. But monthly rent, so you will receive will be around $2,200. But of course, in the monthly payment, monthly like maintenance, repair funds, also property management fee will be deducted from this payment. The property management fee is around 5% in general. That's what we charge to our clients. Plus, what you need to pay is property tax annually and fire insurance. So those are the like payments. So you need to make monthly and annually. And the building is again professional managed, so this is good. The last one is it's more high end. It's in Meguro. It's in the central location. It's at the central location. In 9 minutes from Meguro Station, this is the station of Circle Line in Tokyo. So very like popular line. I think many people take this line to get to work. So it's around like 700 square feet, 2-bedroom, 10th floor, top floor of the 10-story building, built in 2012. So it's newer. The price point, because of exchange rates, it was before like $1 million, but now it's a little bit over $800,000. So you can see how exchange rate affects the price, especially if you have US dollars. And monthly rental income is around $2,400. And gross yield is actually lower, 3.65%. So this is like lower end, but still I see it has a potential because it generates good rental income. Plus, this Park Homes is a brand like building, brand like we call brand condo, meaning people when people look for the condo and they see this name, so it attracts more buyers, home buyers, I mean. And the maintenance and repair funds, so it will be like a little bit over like $160 per month. It's good, and it's a big unit, 237 units in total. So it's financially stable in the future, and the professional managed. So these are the like sample properties I recommend to people who have like $300,000, $400,000 budget and like over $800,000 budget. But again, because financing is not available to individual buyers, so the buyers, overseas buyers, investors need to buy these properties in cash. And so this is the end of my presentation. So if any of you has any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. So I am reachable anytime. So this is my information. So I am based in Tokyo, and I work with only foreign clients, actually, because of my background working as an agent in New York City. So I help my buyer seller clients understanding how the market is, and then so upside, downside, both. I tell them both because that's very important, and especially for investors. So my job is explaining all aspects of properties in the market in Tokyo, and then make my clients confident when buying investment properties. So thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you so much, Aki. So it's very informative, and it's good to know the example. We can have some idea how it looks like. So as she mentioned, right now the currency is very super benefit for us. So we usually calculate $1 to $100, but right now $1 is $139. So if you purchase something, 30% discount the kind of stuff. So, okay, so thank you again. Thank you, Aki-san. So the next person is Minoru Okubo. He is from Hokkaido, Niseko. So Minoru was born and live in the town of Niseko. He has been in the condominium development business in Niseko since 2003. And he has been contributing to the development of the resort area for 20 years. Minoru is also a member of the Tourism Association, Business Association, and maintain the good relationship with the local community and works in the real estate and consulting business. He has over 20 years experience in knowledge of the resort area and helping to bridge a gap between Japanese and international business. Without further ado, please take it away, Minoru-san.
Hi. So hello everyone. So this is Minoru. So firstly, so show to the Niseko promotion video about just 1 minute. So okay. Okay, let's start.
Yama no Kikon, the spirit of the mountain. We are all connected to the mountains, to nature. The snow that falls gives us the water we drink. From the mountains to our rivers and lakes. It enriches the earth to give us the food we eat. From every snowflake to every falling leaf. From every farmer to every family and every friend. This spirit is within us all. It brings us together, connects us and unites us. In adversity, it binds us even more tightly. This is the spirit of Niseko. And their spirit is waiting to welcome you back.
Okay, thank you. So let's start to my presentation. Okay. Okay, so again, so hello everyone. So this is Minoru. So thank you for joining to our seminar today. I'm very happy to be here. So now, so Niseko is the summer season. So just my outside, this is a view of the around the Niseko snow resort. And in the winter season, so like this, you can see the view. So let me introduce myself. So I was born in Hokkaido, and now I am living in the mountain resort called the Niseko. So in the winter season, it's falling snows, so about 2 meters in residential areas. So right side photo. This is exactly just opposite my house to the roadside view. And if you go to the mountain, so there's more than 12 meters of the snow. So left side photo is very close to the snow mountain. So I am involved in the first condominium development project from the 2003. In the Niseko area, already have over 20 years experience about those building development. So my job is a real estate agent, buying and selling, and also development advisor. So I do advices like this, so projects. And also I'm advised to the winery startup business. And 3 years ago, I joined to the Remax agent. Now I'm part of the works to the Remax. And also, so last week, I was selected as a judge for the Asia Property Awards. So I'm continuing to various attractives for the growth and development of Niseko and Hokkaido area. So let's introduce that to the Niseko. So Niseko is located on the island of Hokkaido in northern Japan. So you can see the blue line is the island of Hokkaido. The Niseko Resort area, so you can see the red circle, about a 2-hour drive from the Chitose International Airport. Niseko is the name of the mountain, Niseko Annupuri. So there are 4 ski resorts is there. So I will explain in detail later. So there are the 2 towns at the foot of the mountain. So Kuchan town, so red circle is 15 minutes by the car. So population is 160,000 people. And Niseko town is an orange circle, is 10 minutes away by car. So population is 5,000 people. The main economy is agriculture. So mainly vegetable farmers is there. So producing potato, onion, and beans. And other big point, so this is today main and important point, so is the powder snow. So Niseko Mountains are lower than 1,500 meters, but so it has more than over 12 meters of powder snow. So this snow is very special, attractive. That's why so pro skiers and pro snowboarders, so winter sports lovers, so come from all over the world. So Japanese powder. So now it's called to Japan. So Japan is now being introduced to the worldwide, and Niseko has started to grow as a global resort. So here's a brief overview of Niseko. So there are 4 ski resorts in Niseko. So from the right side, so red circle is a Hanazono area. So PCPD, company name is a PCPD from the Hong Kong. So Hirafu area is a orange circle is Tokyo, Japan. And blue circle is a Higashiyama area. So is owned by Malaysia company. And so green circle is a Annupuri area, is a 2 of us from the Hokkaido local transportation company own this ski area. So Niseko has one of the oldest ski resort in Japan. So it attracts 1.5 million tourists per year. So red circle is 1997. So foreign tourists start coming to Niseko, about 200 people per year. So orange circle, so in 2003, Australian condominium development project started. So after that, more and more investments coming in. So number of building houses and the number of tourists is increased. So this is a foreign tourist entry of the list from 2002 to 2018. So red circle is in 2002. So they are about to the yearly totally 5,000 foreigners come to the Niseko area. So orange one is 2018. So 220,000 people visited to the Niseko. So about the 44 times increase in takes 16 years. So this data is a foreign tourist entry by countries. So China is the largest, but so mainland people are actually not just a few. So expat business owners and investor is more. And followed it to the Hong Kong, New Zealand, Australia, Singapore, Thailand, Malaysia, and all of the Asia area. In recent 3 years, so number of the visitors from the US and Europe is increased to the numbers. So that's why I joined it at today this seminar. So now we have the visitor from more than 21 countries. So investors are flocking Niseko and building more and more buildings. In the last 5 years, the price of the real estate have increased 7 times. So from 2003, so you can see the red arrow to the 2018. So that time is a biggest increase to the value of the land and properties. So now is about yearly 2 or 3% still increase to the value of the properties in Niseko. So property information, I just show to the Niseko currently real estate market. So this is an apartment. So most popular rooms is a 2 and 3 bedrooms types. So price is 400,000 to 550,000 US dollars. So floor is 19 to 140 square meters. So investment return rates, so average 3 to 4%. So like mansion style condominium is there. And chalet and resort houses. So price is 800,000 to 2.7 million US dollars. So floor is usually 3 to 5 bedrooms. So floor is 160 to 500 square meters. So return is average 1 to 2%. And the prime chalet is 2.7 million to 8.5 million US dollars. So every year increase to the land and house package, pricing is going up. So like this property is there. And so still, so Niseko area has a development land opportunities is there. So you and your client focus on the profit, so investment to the gain. So most profitable development in Niseko. So you can buy the land and plan to the house and land package, and then selling. This is the first time to the profitable point. And second one is wealthy people buy those properties. This is the first one. Second one is this is the most popular to the why people buy the Niseko area. So it is a lifestyle investment. So not just focus on the capital gain for the lifestyle. So most of the people has a seaside, like a Hawaii or something like that. So that areas and like a winter area ski resorts, condominiums. So who owners come to the once a year or twice a year, come to Japan or Niseko. So just relaxing time to the those areas. Yes. So this is the main people reason to buy the Niseko properties. And so strong future. So Niseko already opened to the Hilton Hotel, and 2 years ago opened to the Park Hyatt Niseko. And same time open to the Ritz-Carlton is there. So in the future, so 2023 to 2025, so open to the more luxury worldwide brand hotel open to already announced. So this is a Rosewood Hotel and Six Senses. And the biggest one is Aman will be open to the 2025. So that's why people still focus on the Niseko area. So this mountain around the many global hotel open and will be open to the inner soon. And other sides, so highway and Shinkansen, so Blue Express trains will be open in 2013. So many biggest transportation is open. Yes, so this is the number of the overseas investment in Hokkaido. So first one is a Kuchan town, and the third one is a Niseko town, and the sixth one is a Rankoshi town. Those 1, 3, 6 is a Niseko area. So most popular investment Hokkaido area is a Niseko. And this one is the number of the overseas capital to Niseko by country. So biggest one is Hong Kong, China, Australia, Singapore. But so last year, so first time this list in the USA and also Europe. So before the COVID, so from the USA, like inquiry to increase to those countries. And still, so last 3 years, so this is the variation of the land value. So still increase to the Niseko area. And so this one is a list of the real estate sales price in the resort areas around the world. So 2021, so you can see the yellow one. So Niseko is a first time listed in this one. So last year is a 34th is a Niseko. And the red arrow is a 2022. So at this year is a 32nd. So just a little bit go up to the number of the list. So now is a Niseko is a step in the global snow resort it. So Hokkaido is like a 4 season, 4 seasons seasonality. So already, so Michelin guide is there, so you can enjoy to the Hokkaido local Hokkaido food is there. And so 2030, so we can invite to the Winter Olympic Games. So at 1972, Hokkaido already opened to the Winter Olympics Games, and So you know that last year, so Tokyo Olympic Games is it finished, and then so this Hokkaido and Niseko also invite to the 2030 so this game. So that's why so many business owners and hotels and investors so interesting to the investment in Hokkaido, also Niseko area. So I'm not very good in English enough, so you know that. But so I would be happy if you could understand why Hokkaido and Niseko is attracting so much attention from overseas. So that's all my presentation. So thank you so much for your time. ありがとう。ありがとうございます。
Thank you so much, Minoru and Aki. Now, does anybody have any questions? This is the time for Q&A. You can just unmute yourself or you can put the question on chat. I guess I will start. I have a question for either one of you. You mentioned a little bit about taxes, and taxes might go up or decrease after 5 years. Can one of you guys explain how the tax work and what typically is the percentage of tax?
Should I?
Can you explain?
Sure. Okay. So the tax rate. So if you sell property within 5 years, I mean after the purchase, so tax rate for non-residents is 30% on income gain, capital gain. Then if you keep it, hold it for 5 years, and then sell it after 5 years, so you'll be down to 15%. So you'll be like half of it. So so that means, you know, when you make the same income gain, capital gain, so because of this tax rate, so the amount you actually receive after paying tax, it will be you know, very different. Of course, depending on how much, you know, capital gain you get.
Okay, and then additionally, so I think Aki mentioned about the capital gain. So I think Sarah would like to know about the regular property tax or property tax, maybe. So,
Property tax.
Yeah, I believe the property tax is almost the same rate with maybe California, probably 1.3% or something, correct? I believe. But my understanding is the difference is in California, they calculate the property tax based on the purchase price. So if the seller keep paying the lower property tax, but the buyer purchased the $1 million property, then the property tax should be 1 million by 1.25 or something. It's in the Southern California. But in Japan, the property tax assessed value is a little bit different from the resale actual value. I believe it's a lower than the actual value. Then the assessment value is going up little by little, depending on the market. So that's why Minoru shows the rural area is very lower price, but recently the regular price is going up. That's why the property assessed value is going up. But in Japan, the assessment value is still, I believe, lower than the actual value. So I don't know how many percent. It's very lower, right?
Yes, and also it goes the annual property tax payment is based on the tax assessment by the tax office every year. So so it's I believe it's lower than the US, because for the smaller units, like the one around $300,000 US dollars range, I think you'd be under you'd be under like $3,000 a year.
$3,000 a year. Yeah.
Yes, or less than that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's lower.
Okay. Does this help?
Yes, thank you so much, Aki. That was very informative. And do we have any other question? to anybody on the panel? But I just want to say you guys did an amazing presentation. I'm already hearing people are really, they learned so much from you, Hiroko, about Japan, and Aki, thank you for sharing so much about Tokyo. And Minoru, thank you so much for sharing about the resort ski area of Niseko. We have learned so much. I know you guys put a lot of time and effort on your presentation, so for that, I am so grateful, truthfully, very, very grateful. But before we end the presentation, due to time restraints, I want you all to remember to put your contact information in the chat. This way, if you want to reach out to Hiroko, or if you want to reach out to Aki, or if you want to reach out to Minoru, we have a contact information. We always want to work with CIPS or, refer agents from each of the countries that we deal with and network with. So with that said, make sure you put your contact information. And once again, if you guys do have any question afterwards, we will always, try to get the answer to you, because we're here just to educate, to learn, and to network. So with that said, I just want to thank each and every one of you. I want to thank the attendees as well. Thank you for taking the time, an hour and a half, to learn about Japan. And with that said, thank you so much. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you till the next one.
Thank you very much. Now we all want to go to visit. The
Yeah,
videos
we
were
want a trade
so
mission.
nice.
Hiroko, we really would like a trade mission to Japan.
Yes,
Yeah,
it
we'll have to
looks
do one next
really
year.
nice. Well done.
Very well done. I love how you guys did all the presentation with the country first, and then the different cities, and then the price point. Very, very informative.
I like how she did like the map, like Aki was doing the map and saying like almost everybody live in this section. I was like 9 million people. That's like, that was like, I could not believe the condensation is going to be, but it looks really nice. Thank you.
I was, yeah, it's very, very nice. I was really surprised about the square footage of the condos. So that was an eye-opening.
Yes, so everything is so tiny in order to be able to accommodate all these many people.
Right. So also I was gonna ask, what is is there an HOA cost for, or is it just the maintenance fees that they charge you for the condos?
Maintenance and repair funds. Yeah. Maintenance and repair funds.
So how much average for the HOA fee? Usually maybe around 3万円、5万円。
どちら？
HOA のフィーがね。How much about how much HOA typically
in Tokyo?
In Tokyo.
It's for the small unit. It'd be ideal if it's less than it'd be around like $200.
$200
in total. But of course, if it's larger, it will go up to like over $300 a month. But I think it's still lower.
Very low.
Pretty reasonable. Yeah, yeah. So another thing that I was curious about, you mentioned if it's tenant occupied, you actually don't have the opportunity to view the property before you close on transaction. So is there photos that you share about the interior of the property or not?
Yes and no. But in many cases, I would say like 80% of time, no photos.
Wow.
So it's depending on if it's a newer condo, I think it'd be possible to get some sample pictures. But I think if it's older buildings, I think I would say like maybe like 70%, 80% of them don't have any photos. So that's a catch.
Is it because of privacy?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank
How
you.
long does it take to buy a house from start to finish? The escrow, does it need to be recorded with the government? What's the process?
The process is not, it's rather simple when buying in cash. So it could be around, it will be around maybe within a month. So my record, which I made this year, was 8 days.
Wow.
Really?
because buyer wanted to move in next weekend. Said, "Oh, I want to move in next weekend." Really? It's like, I have a cash
Wow.
flow. But usually it's around like maybe a month or so.
1 month. So
Okay.
for foreign buyers, can they or are they allowed to just wire the funds from our country to Japan, or does the fund needs to be in Japan?
このまま答えてくれるんですね。
Yeah.
Okay. So with overseas buyers, because the funds needs to be received by the seller on the day of signing, I mean deposit on the sale on the day of signing, and the balance on the day of closing, exactly on that day. So that means, we don't know how long it takes, how long the wire takes to get to Japan, right? Because it's an international wire.
Sure.
So so our company, because we don't use escrow, so our company receives clients' funds in our account before signing and before closing. Then we pay to the seller, we pay to the scrivener, meaning we don't use a lawyer, but scrivener is kind of a lawyer who takes care of transferring ownership. So we pay to all parties out of our account on that day. That's how it works.
So in Japan, usually recently like an escrow company started, but most of the company they don't use the escrow system. So how they do is seller wire or bring the money to the bank waiting room or something on the recording day, and then the seller come to the place, seller and the listing agent come to the waiting room, buyer and buyer's agent come to the bank waiting room. And then when they see all the funds in front of them, then go to the recording office. Go to the recording.
So they don't have this packet of documents like we have here. You guys don't have all those disclosures and contracts and all that stuff.
Of course, contract existing, and a contract needed to be signed off already before closing. But usually escrow company have a secured account for all fund is coming, right? But they don't use usually in Japan. So that's why Remax Aki's company on behalf of like a escrows company is functioning.
So who checks the title? Who checks to make sure the ownership is proper and going to be transferred?
So we have a licensed person who called a scrivener, so who acts like a lawyer, and then takes care of also checks all the documents, also checks the property title to make sure if it's fully and clear. So then the seller, when the seller receives the payment, the scrivener will file the document now online, and then the ownership will be transferred.
That's good.
Thank you.
Very interesting. Another question, if I may just take a short period of time. What is the average term for leases? Because you mentioned something about leases, so I was kind of curious. Is it more than 1, 2, 3, 4 years? What is the typical average term for leases?
That's good. So the average lease is for 2 years. So we call it standard lease, renewable standard lease. So it's 2 years, but the tenant can terminate the lease earlier with usually 1 month notice to the landlord. So, and then it's renewable, meaning even though some owners wants to use it at the end of the lease, so you cannot really kick the tenant out.
Cannot.
No, you cannot, because if the lease is renewable. So that's it. That would be, I think, also a catch. So because it's my property, I want to live there. No, because tenants are very protected in Japan. So if it's a renewable lease, so you cannot really kick the tenant out.
can you do a contract just for 2 years and not renew it? I mean, put it in the original contract is only 2 years and that's it, or no?
So there is also fixed term lease.
Oh, okay.
Meaning the lease expires in a year, in 2 years, or in 3 years. So if the tenant has a fixed term lease and at the end of the lease, before the lease expires, the landlord can tell the tenant, okay, so I'm not going to renew.
Okay, so that's better.
I'm not going to resign, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah.
But basically, traditionally, the Japan is very tenant strong country, like a nationwide rent control type of thing. So although the tenant lease contract has some certain term, but if tenant want to stay there, the landlord cannot kick them out. So that's a basic contract. So it's a little different.
It sounds crazy, but that's the reality.
Right.
Pat, Angela, I see your hand being raised.
Hello, I have 3 quick questions. One, I want to know what is the main telephone communication from US? Is it WhatsApp, or I thought that they had a different one in Japan?
Line,
What is it?
call it line.
Line?
Yeah.
Line? Okay, thank you. I wanted to remember that. And then my second question is relating to the lease period where it says that there is a key, like a thank you for renting to me fee, or a tip, we would call it here. What can you describe a little bit about that? And then I have one more small question.
So it's kind of a laking. Can you describe about the laking?
That was yeah, that was my reverse culture shock when I came back to Japan. Why I need to give landlords free money, right? But that's actually becomes the listing agencies, income.
So I did hear before that, and it's probably very rare, but because you have to pay your lease in advance, many months in advance, that since that key fee is discretionary, it can cause some problems when the people arrive there for their rental because they may not agree on the key fee.
Yes, you can say, okay, I don't want to pay, but because of renter demands in central Tokyo, so it's like, okay, if you don't want to pay, I will look for other tenants.
Yeah.
So,
but do they refund the lease fee once it's been paid and already in advance?
the lease fee means?
Yeah, in your slide there, and I've heard you have to pay usually 6-8 months in advance or your full term lease in advance.
Oh, I think so. Nowadays, though, we use many agencies. I mean, owners use the guarantor company.
Okay.
So that guarantees a lease. So in many cases, the tenant pay first month's rent, 1 month deposit, 1 month key money, 1 month agency fees, half month guarantor company's fees. So renting an apartment in Tokyo is very expensive when it comes to initial cost, because usually the renters need to pay like about 5 times of rent to rent to sign the lease. So if
Thank you for that.
Yeah, $1,000, you have to have like $5,000 cash.
Yeah. Thank you. That's a good explanation. My only other question, and it can be real brief answer, because it's probably one I'll have to investigate more, is that when you have someone that's wanting to make a mortgage, and I noticed that they have to usually have a national sponsor or a co-signer. Is that typical, and how does that go? If they don't have one, they're coming from here and they don't have one in place, is there a service or an accommodator?
So again, financing is available only for residents, meaning working residents. And if someone is a foreigner, so usually the person needs to have permanent residency And then also some working like history, like maybe over a year or like, you know, couple of years. And then it's better to be employed full-time. So if someone doesn't live here, so most likely, so you will need to buy in cash.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you. Do we have any other questions? Go ahead, Susie. Nice to see you here.
Hi, this message actually Hiroko-san. It piggybacks on what Angela was asking. I was just curious, the arigato deposit, usually how much is that?
I live in Tokyo 1 month. 1 month, arigato. The deposit, and that is not non-refundable. And then the 1 month security deposit, that is refundable at the end of the lease term.
Okay, yeah, I was curious because I knew about the arigato one. I never knew how much it was. Yeah, arigato.
どういたしまして。
All right. Any other questions? If not, once again, thank you so much. And Minoru and Aki, have a wonderful day in Japan. I believe you said it was raining, right? So stay dry.
Okay.
And Hiroko, thank you so much for getting them and sharing information about Japan. We really appreciate you, especially you. So with that said, I want to thank everybody until next time. And that's it for us. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So we'll be
Bye.
waiting in Japan.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Nice to
you.
see you.
Bye.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.